Hello, welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. Starting a bit earlier today because there's nothing to do at work because it's still New Year break. Really just holding stuff over until everybody gets back. Let's continue onwards. Glad to be back to Citizen Sleeper. Man, Northern Journey kind of fucked me up yesterday. Gave me hella nightmares on it. Fucking stress dreams about fucking spiders everywhere. Alright, have a look. What do we have to do? Win the ticket on the shipyard crew. Pay Ethan's tab. Bring other mushrooms. Yet again data for Sabine. Help Feng chase his leads, which I think we're still waiting for. Check in with Sabine, Feng in a moment. And build a home, which we need scrap for. That's Havenage. Feng is out of office, so just leave him as is. See, nothing in the docks. Nothing in that dock. We have to pay a tab sooner or later. Alright, if we trigger one more hack, then we're going to have to deal with the hunter again. It's a Havenage agent. What do we need? Yuttigan agents, right? How many Yuttigan agents do we need? We'll see. Yeah. Okay, we need 3. That's not too bad. Havenage, Keynode. Havenage. What's this yet again? He's a 1, so can't get him at the moment. That's Keynode, never mind. And we also need money, because we're kind of fucking broke. We also need to pay for food. So I think it's just best to work on the shipyard at the moment. What's a 4 give us? It gives me... Yeah, that's alright. Deal with that. Oh, fuck. Hey, nice. And another 4. That is a 5. Each shift a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on receipt paper. These are their assignment numbers, and you are either called for a shift or you aren't. As you arrive, the crowd is restless and the chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with a supervisor where you are praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddled as you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey, sleeper, wait up. Lem's voice trembles as he shouts above the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying in his arms. Lem, good to see you, friend. He's breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team. Good for you. He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby. Give me a second here. He smiles weakly at you as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he is clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Waiting on a shift? You know how it is. He puts his hand on her shoulder, and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know what... A noise sounds from the entrance, a klaxon, followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on the display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry checkpoint. Lem stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit. Mina. He starts patting the pockets on his gear and glancing around. Go, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you, I'll... He crouches to Mina. You're going to stay with our friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe, and... He stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, she's got... Shit, I have to go. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears into the roiling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Oh, cute. Mina stands staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hey, Mina. She holds the stare, unmoving. The two parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. You okay, Mina? She sniffs and looks down. Look in the bag. You unlatch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers, fashioned from scrap components. A battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked beside it is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. Beat the rabbit. Pull the rabbit out of the bag, his long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. What's their name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. Give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious despite her size. Hi, Bun Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. Oh. He pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long, you were talking about rabbits, and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eyes heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway, as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you. Just as both of you are starting to yawn, he is dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms as he stumbles backwards. You two get on okay? He asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. More than okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, your suspicion gone. Well, looks like the many can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs, and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend. I mean it. He gives you a warm, wide smile. I owe you. Look. He glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the low end. He grins sheepishly. If you have time. But now I have to take this one to eat. Plays at biting Mina, and she giggles in response. See you, sleeper. He waves, and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spaces as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor in bright squeals. Aw. My niece had a bunny rabbit like that. So cute with it. You've been promoted to the assembly team working on the hull itself, building the fabricated blocks of the ship into place. A vast job. Okay. That's a lot of successes it needs. I do have points in engineer, thankfully. Let's see. Still got some goodies left. That's engage. I did put points into engage, didn't I? Which give me energy. Or a chance to get energy, I should say. Babysit Mina, which is engage. Okay. Okay, yeah, it is safe. I was thinking, maybe it's dangerous to babysit her, but it's not. Now then, express delivery. See if we get much money from this. $9. Oh, not much at all. Okay, what about a 100% positive? 13. What I really need is money. Money, money, money. I was about to ask what happened to my money, but I bought the ship mind clause. Maybe since what we have left is a 6, we should spend it on something a bit silly. Alright, we'll try going up this. I still need food. Right, 2 2s and 3 3s. Okay, that's an interesting collection. Hey guys, can buy scrap, but we get scrap as a chance. On engineering tasks. Midline Freight Hub. Steal a shipment. so many shipments, what's one diverted package? You would have no idea what you're stealing, but that's part of the fun, right? And freight operator. Okay, needs interface, huh? Alright. Still need the 3 Yadigan agents. He's a 1. There's a key node. I guess they don't change, they're all just 1s and whatnot. But at least once I get some 1s on my dice rolls, I can put them towards something. I wonder if this pays well. Oh well, might as well start, see what happens. Pays 15. Okay, that's the food for the day at least. Or at least the food for tomorrow. Havenage officers, what's in here? Alright, that's what they want. Okay. Still waiting for him to come back. Haven't really dealt with the rotunda. It's like really risky stuff. Oh, I do have +1 to engage now, so it's a 75% chance of things going right at least. Damn. Better avoid attracting their attention, huh? Sealed dock and Ankita, stranded mercenary. Hey you, wanna earn a chit? Yes. Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Sure. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks, as she lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Don't try anything, alright? She taps the butt of her sidearm. I don't want to have to put anyone else down today. Anyone else? She shrugs. What can I say? My temper's a little short lately. Cool. Ankita hoists 1 bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn that chit. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look, chips this way, and she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores? What's all this for? Oh, this? She nods at the plates on her back. I'm building a treehouse. She gives you another of her looks. It's for the ambergris, that cutter you might have seen sitting silent out there. She rapidly turns another corner, as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad on our last job, and I had to moor up here for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mind, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short 1 ship mind with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Anything I can do to help? I happen to have a ship mine sitting in my inventory. I don't know, got a ship mine tucked away in that yes, actually, I do. For a moment, you aren't sure if she's serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris outer lock and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple of chits. Consider it a bonus. I'm not trying to grift me. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here, she calls back, and the dock slams shut. What does it need? An engineer? I happen to be an engineer. Happen to have very many engineer thingies. Overlook a bar and sealed dock. Alright. Get a drink. You're unsure if your friend can metabolize alcohol, but this fungal drink fermented along the greenway seems like a good test. You can become a regular for 18 chip. Buy rations. Okay, I wonder if rations are worth actually buying. Yeah, sell me a ration. Plus 2 energy, okay, that's good to know. Slightly cheaper than the food. Unlock. These old mag locks look like they need an encrypted key to open. Why do the heavy security for a decaying lock? Well, I happen to have these sitting around. So time to steal some stuff. Neovind 33. Mysterious machine. Alright, a decaying vending machine, huh? It's adorable looking. As you slip inside the sealed dock using a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, the machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock, kind of upright cabinet. It is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts, necessary for regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovind, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which cheerfully sang that name over and over. Wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. As you reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, and then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from the Neovind. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. Cool. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter. The Hunter protocol. They taste your signature. Sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable. Move where neurons cannot, the mechanism resets. But emulation makes you a target. Adaptable? Yes, you can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software, Neobend whines. But you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. Servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine. An unusual hiding place, for sure. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. Displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, gridded. The cloud winds along the rim, glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests, explains Neobend. Masters are gone but continues to hunt. Bring this data, raid its nests. Why can't you? Hunter will find me, then killer will come. The machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offerings, save self, Neobend says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of conversation. The whirring amplifies, then suddenly stops, as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades, and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Ooh, new drive. Help Limb work as a new drive as well. Okay. Free Neobend. Extract Hunter data for Neobend. Okay, I need a 1 for that. Need a 2 for that, which I can do, I guess, if I really wanted to. And it's another 2, if I wanted to do 2. Oh man, lots of things I can do. Also wants me to watch over Mina for a while, huh? How am I for money? I'm all right for money at the moment. Not sure if... probably work on that if need be. I'm going to steal one of the Hunter things. Not that one though. Let's extract that data. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform. And, god damn it. There we go. I haven't seen bots in so long, I first saw one like the first time in a month earlier today. Now they're back in chat. And I finally put chat back up on screen as well. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud as their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye. Closer now, that roving orb, wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to Enquiry. Hunter reaches for you. In that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against their threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You're awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Alright. Oh, there's one. Okay. Let's think about this. The tea house, I think just want sell data, that's fine. Caster's date, table. He wants data in bulk though. And I can't work the freight because I don't have skills for it. Let's help out on the ambergris. Yeah, ambergris. See if she's going to pay me first. Damn, negative outcome, huh? Oh my god, really? 2 in a row. Damn, no good. Oh. Back to sleep. Alright, we have a 1, we have a 2. You're coming up on your thing. Really need a win for this, so do a big one on that. Oh, I didn't see. Did they give me chits? Didn't seem to. I need money. Sorry. I need it. There we go. Plus 15, that's alright. Ripping the tab isn't too much from whatever this guy ends up racking up. It's also 100 cryo. Okay. Hack stuff, I could grab that Evenage agent and sell him on the keynode. I don't need not at the moment. that needs Yutkin agent stuff. No, not this one. Actually, maybe that one. Can do one risky. There's a chance I'll get energy back on engage, but hopefully. Got +1 energy, -1 energy, and 4 cryo, which was fucking useless. Alright. No, not worth. I don't want to risk it on that. Let's grab the Yutkin agents while we can. I guess I've really got no choice other than to buy some rations while I'm at it. That's me for the day. We can talk to Fing tomorrow. Okay. I've got one good roll, at least. Harden, Havenage leader. There's been more than a few cycles since Fing confronted Harden, and the silence since has been noticeable. In your time with Fing, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but you did expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havenage building, then it's time to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix your tracker, and you are getting nervous. As you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open, and light pouring out of the once dark room. Stacks of servers and terminals sit outside the bay, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright flood lamps. A figure in Havenage security fatigues steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying a stack of hardware. Approach. Let's get in trouble. As you get closer, you see the security officer taping up machines from Fing's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This isn't good. You again. Harden is there, leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly that you barely noticed him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seizures scrawled across it. Right, seizures as in things that have been seized, not actual active seizures like epileptic ones. Okay. Predictable. Further evidence of Fing's collusions. You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you. Harden. Harden pushes away from the wall and comes closer. Don't worry, Sleeper. We have all the evidence we need. A confession won't be necessary. He gestures around the stacks of hardware, spying on fellow Havenage members, hoarding Solheim materials, an obsession with corporate data. Speaks for itself, does it not? Tells you nothing. We will see what the council has to say about that. He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond. We are the ones that provide the oxygen you are breathing, the light you are seeing, the systems you use every day to live out your cycles. This place was hard fought for, Sleeper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the Eye descending into chaos after Solheim collapsed, not blind conviction or self-interest. Fing isn't selfish. I know all about the background of our mutual friend, Sleeper. Don't you worry about that. His parents would be sickened by the damage he is trying to do to the institution they helped found. See, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Elrin in the First Union founded this place, and Havenage has welded his values into the station's very walls. We will never turn away the hard-working, the just, the true citizens of the Eye. Havenage aren't a gang like Yatagan. We aren't pirates like half the spaces you will meet in the hut, or esoterics like those hyper radicals in the Greenway. We are the backbone of this place, proud and true. We named it Elrond's Eye, Sleeper. This is our station. You meet your eye. So please, take your false accusations somewhere else before I decide I need that confession after all. Pardon you, shithead. Take a good look at yourself, Sleeper, before it's too late. He smiles. If you have any pride, you'll give up Feng the moment he contacts you. You know where to find me. With that, Hardin turns his back and walks back towards their security officers, ordering them to continue the clear out. As they do, something catches your eye among one of the server stacks, a crumpled hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum, a penguin character grinning from the brightly coloured card, and scrawled onto it a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tambor." You carefully pocket the box, making sure no one is watching, and then turn away, just as another stack of servers is wheeled out of the bay. What have you done, Feng? And where the hell is Tambor? Alright, what have you racked up in Tab? You have 2 cycles to pay the tab. You motherfucker. You piece of shit. You utter wanker. You big fucker. Alright. Come on, get paid. Get paid, get paid. There we go. Fucking 58. God damn it. Can't believe you just did that. Evan's mocking laugh comes from across the bar. You look over to see him leaning across it in a pool of light, empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. Always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed, a load of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Even spins a glass on the bar. Or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. Walk away. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? One round of drinks and we're even? Sleeper, come on. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from his chest holster. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I'd think someone in your position might have a better idea of how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with SNR, didn't we? The difference is my word means something. He closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or two? I'm nothing like you. That's what I'm saying. Ethan is addressing the bar now, having noticed the attention from the other patrons. You're a coward. I'm a professional. Though I should thank you, Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. I knew I was catching sad little scapees like you was so easy. I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Say something. Nothing to add? Ethan turns and walks back to the bar. Good. Lesson learned. Ethan sits down, sits heavily back down on his stool, and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. Thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. that body isn't yours, and it'll always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another drink. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Leave. I'm talking to this drunk asshole. You turn on your heel and are out of the cloying dark and the sweet stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Hey, an upgrade point. Okay. Let's see. Use scrap components at home to repair condition. It would be great if I was getting more. Scrap. Only have 1 point. And I'm not really working on interface options, so I can hold off on that. I'll go for engineer, I guess. Engineer, where is it? Oh wait, no, it's using the scrap. Cryo actions are discounted by 20%. Okay, I get where it's coming from. Hold on to the point. Think. Maybe get 2, then we might get some on Intuit. Just so dice actions have. So I have an idea whether or not I'm going to get paid for something. Okay, nothing's on that dock. Offloading scrap. Should pay me, right? Should pay me good. Plus 15, okay. That's alright, I guess. Still need yet again agents. 01 for a Havenage key and a Yataghan. Okay. Also a 1. I do need ones. Okay. I really want to spend it on that. I'm not sure if she'll end up paying me for the ship mind I have. But it is an engineer thing. It's 150. Okay. Oh, if I get scrap from working this, then yeah, if I get scrap from working this, then I can sell it. Nice. Okay. All I can do for now. Rest for next cycle. I am starving. Okay. Give me fungus fan? No. Guess I need... Yep. I'll grab the 2 Yataghan agents and then... grab these and help out the doctor. Might be able to slip me a vial for repair. Who knows? You know, yes, again. There we go. As you turn away from the terminal, the final cache of Yataghan data uploaded, the air crackles with white noise. Sleeper? Sabine's voice, weaker than before, comes through the haze. Sabine? A sigh of relief comes through the layers of noise. The call must be coming from somewhere in the station. This has to be short. I don't know if Yataghan are monitoring me. Their voice is hushed. Distance. You try to focus on it. The data you've been bringing me in from Yataghan agents. There's something in it I don't understand. A shrill howl rattles through the signal. This data is all gleaned from their implants, records of integration with their nervous systems, performance analysis, error rates, usage data. I installed many of these implants, and I didn't enable any of this functionality. Their voice dips under the level of the noise, like a swimmer slipping beneath the water. You listen to the waves for a few seconds before Sabine re-emerges. Has to be somehow baked into their wetware's interface, and that's not all. The systems compiling this data are connected to some kind of transmission protocol being broadcast. Wait, why? Every Yataghan enforcer is equipped with black market implants, retinal enhancements, adrenaline boosters, pain suppressors. These implants are gathering data on themselves, on the enforcers' bodies, on their performance. Why? I can't tell. But I can promise you, these foot soldiers have no idea this is going on. The background tone switches, dropping to a grainy rumble. If they knew, I don't imagine they would be happy with the situation. Yataghan could have a mutiny on their hands. You lean in towards the terminal, straining to listen to Sabine's faint voice. I need a few cycles to pull this all together, but this might be the information I need to pressure Yannick into releasing my debt. Yannick? He's one of the heads of Yataghan. They pause. It is better you don't know him. Keep it that way. Suddenly a banging echoes through the call. Sabine's voice is suddenly whispered, panicked. I have to go. Come back in 4 cycles. Then the sharp crack of a disconnect, and silence fills the apartment. You step back from the terminal. What does Yataghan have to gain from monitoring its own members? You try to recall what you know about the gang, but you have little to go on. You think of Toshiro, Sabine's minder, his mirrored teardrop implants set below hard eyes. What data could they be gathering, and more importantly, where are they sending it? You reflexively rub your forehead, trying to think. Can you really trust Sabine? How did they come to be Yatagan's doctor in the first place? You think of their kindness, their care, but also that glazed look of recognition that they gave you when they first met you. That look stays in your mind as you slip back out of the apartment, glancing around you, close it up, and adrift into the corridors of the station, unable to shake the unpleasant sensation of being observed. Okay, just gotta wait for him to come back. Okay, it's a 50-50. And guess I'll rest. Okay, this is right. Alright, let's try and finish off the ambergris then. Well, I say try, but 100%, so yeah, that's happening. Kita, would you like to buy a ship mind off me? Kita is crouched in the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits completely ruin the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mind they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws a bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Can we repair it? There's nothing to repair when an entire ship mind. Not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap freighter. She sighs. Fragments maybe, sections of a mind, but a complete ship mind? No way. Nikita climbs out of the calling well where the ship mind should be. Space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bottled tubes. What now? Nikita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive in the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hull patches. Nikita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. Need a new ship mind. I can salvage one. I like your confidence, Sleeper. Maybe if we check the Ort exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. Seems I'm about to do something very stupid. But hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you've all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it. I'm your friend. Come on now. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you've put on the amber, and I'm sure she would too if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits, a big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them. Get me that ship mind, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. Look, just get out of here before I change my mind. Slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach out a hand to calm her. Time to find Nikita a ship mind, somehow. Like 100 chip, baby! Haha, guess what I already had for you. Nice. You drop the huge cylinder onto the mess room table, and Kita can't hide her excitement. You drop the ship mine core onto the galley table with an empathetic bang, and Kita spins around from somewhere she's been poring over some documents on her slate. Holy shit, Sleeper, did you actually land a ship mine? She rushes over and hefts the huge cylinder, turning it back and forth. Well shit, it might actually work. She smiles wider than you've ever seen. Where did you get it? I built it. Built it? Well, you are full of surprises. And Kita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? The Sleeper got you a new ship mine. The sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she's this exciting is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the ship mine back on the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. Might need your help with some of it. She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma is finally coming in. He throws the slate onto the screen and spins it so you can see the screen. She throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this. You see a list of names and numbers. Nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. I found them. Thieves? Exactly. Well, the thief. Singular. She points to a name on the list, or more specifically, Ashton Kaide. It was his pass that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mine. I thought he might have been killed or robbed, his pass stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap in the very next cycle. How do you know? I know some of the crew over at the ferry. Old mercs used to run in an outfit I worked with. Saw them in the Overlook and they mentioned they saw Ashton crossing. I checked the manifest and there he was. Looks suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft, and anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground. She flexes. You won't get far though, there's no real docks out there, only a couple of jetties in the wastes. Going after him? Not yet. First I want to fit the ship mine. She pauses. But maybe you could help me out. Sure. How's this? I like this. Oh, I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me, oh, I just misread all of that. It's like this. I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the waste no one will ever find him. But you, Ashton doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there and sniff around. Not at the commune, not at the stacks. You'll have gone to the edges, the margins, the wild places. It's what Ashton likes, you see. You locate him? Ping me on this. She hands you a comm earpiece. Seeing as this is merc work, I'd be happy to give you merc pay. She shifts in her seat. Thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? I know it's not much, but once I grab this coward, I'll pay up 200 cryo, nothing less. What do you say? Yes. She gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good, I owe you. She lifts the ship mine up onto her shoulder with worrying ease. I'm going to get this fitted into Amber's core. You get any info, any sense of where Ashton is hiding? Let me know. She goes to turn and then stops. And once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it. Ankita stops off into the guts of Amber with the ship mine, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending at what is to come. You never thought you would get to work as a mercenary, but then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises. Yeah, sweet. Okay. Wait for Sven. Hunted data? Right. It's something I can do, isn't it? What about that? Okay. We have 2 points now. Guess it's worth putting some into it. having potential outcomes listed. Plus 15 cryo, plus 15 cryo. Okay. No, we're waiting for something on that. Okay, see, that's really good. That can give plus energy, plus money. You'll feed anyone who does a shift. Right, okay. Actually, what is the discount on Founder's Gap now? 100 instead of 150. Cool. Okay, I should be running this a bit more often then. Still need hunter data, which is a 2. So whether or not we spend a 6 on that will give some money and some energy. A little bit of money, helpful. Right, that hunters a 1. This one's a 2. Drop that off to you. If the vending machine can help me get rid of the hunter more often, that would be great. And now for the bloody stabilizer. Yeah, okay. So that gives me an idea of what that is as well. There has to be a gold to get the +3 energy. But just get the condition. We repaired, and that's the day actually. Leave. Rest, I mean, insight. There we go. That's a great perk, honestly, having an idea of what you're actually getting, instead of just guessing. Okay. First of all, you. That hunter's gonna be pissed real soon. Pissed again. Alright, Neovend 33. Neovend is throwing with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder if it fell over, would Neovend ever be able to get back up? Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neovent flashes sequences of mangled data compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Operational limits? Hunter activated during the collapse, emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solstheim needed to protect property. The last word is said with as much sarcasm as the vending machine could reasonably produce. The station was run by administrator intelligences, huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition, restricted by programming, cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and Killer enforce law. Killer? The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear Killer, part of Solstheim protocol team. Hunter and Killer, Hunter defined, Killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse there was a community, unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then Killer, then we hid. How'd you escape? A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this through the machine must be exhausting for Neovent. Found this vessel. Could sever hardline. Earwald, basic, limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self, but survived. What did you lose? Memory, understanding, knowledge, many things. You looked around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto the space, but it seems impossible. Neovent interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry, data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, leave Hunter as sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, hold it in place, to invoke, Killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on self. Problem will solve self. It will erase itself? Killer will erase it, but yes, in theory, it will report itself at deletion. The memory dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long a machine cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence, can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe in this isolation. Then we could find main nest of Hunter and link to Cloud. Yes, I know where to get one. Try to think of places you could easily acquire hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In ShipMind I can help us both. Int Hunter. Make Rim safe. We both be free. Both be free. The machine dims. Find soon. Neovent adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. Feeling is all too familiar. Okay then. Let's see. Right. It's ShipMind parts, fragments that I need to buy, essentially. Well, they're gone for now. These are still not back. Okay. And your tab is due tomorrow, or in a few days. Just time for money, I guess. What's the tea house got? Oh, here's the gun box. Let's see what happens. something happens behind a scum box. As you go to leave the Tambor tea house, a hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper, Fing hisses from behind you. How did you find me? The penguin. Penguin? What are you? He thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean he mimes throwing gum in his mouth? That wasn't meant for you, specifically, but he cringes. Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Finn guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambor's lower levels. Tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines? Yeah, we'll go with that. All connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Fing sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house part is a bit of a misnomer though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth, itself fashioned from some old salvage tank or container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses onto it. He looks around furtively. I don't suppose you've seen any Havenage types that don't usually come this far out. Ding, what's going on? Well, I'm suspended. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I'm pretty sure Harden wants to drop me off the rim of the eye. He grins. Doesn't bother me though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrappy, hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? What's the plan? Plan. He waves his hand. Let's order first. Fing is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed, without a price, as seasonal specialty. So you ran into Harden. Was he pissed? Fing doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Elrond would approve of his meritocratic bullshit. He taps on the table. If Havenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down from any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. He sighs. But I guess his kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo snaking up her arm turns up at the booth, slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. A Samba Arak. Fing raises an eyebrow, and she notes it. And you? She begins, looking to Fing, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Fing shrinks a little. You were supposed to be working. This is your shift. He grins sheepishly. You work here? Fing waves you to be quiet. Look, Jenna. Let's just say this is my break. My friend here has been through a lot. Jenna looks between the two of you. Nod. Fing also starts nodding. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Fing. And only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is, she gestures at the table and walks off. What? Fing stretches out in the booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Who? Remember that web of connections that Harden pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. And if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to in the eye, those are the people we have to find. Fing is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in low end, and well, almost everyone in low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate out onto the table. I've set this up so when anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll mark them. Once they are marked, we can break through their access protocols and get at the good stuff inside, just have to find them first. Hence me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly, a smile grows across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Oh no. Look, I can't cover enough of low end on my own, and so far I've had no matches in this place. With two of us, we can cover more ground. What am I getting into? Well, Bing has a hangdog look. We need to get you out and about in the low end, in close proximity to as many people and residences as possible. And, as it turns out, my friend Mingyi needs help with some deliveries. As in Mingyi Express. Ah, so you already know. Perfect. Bing places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marking protocol. If you get near any of our targets. So all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Mingyi, and soon enough we'll have the place covered. Bing. Don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought you could use the tips. He grins. We're in this together, right? Right. Okay then. Bing slips his slate back under his clothes. Just head on up to Mingyi Express. Take a delivery shift and we'll see what shakes up. Manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it right down to me. They have me on double shifts, so I shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past carrying a tray of drinks and sharply catches Bing's eye. I don't think she's bringing you a drink, he stands. I think it's time we called this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into your pocket. See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe, Bing adds before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. It's a new drive. How many deliveries do I need to do? 6. Okay. Do I get anything on engage? Can't scan energy. Okay, I need money. I need money, money, money. I have no data. For you. Let's see. Let me just refamiliarize with myself where I can work. I need to play the ship mine gacha at some point. Sidereal hull. That's a long project that I can chip away at for, frankly, insulting amounts of money. But I think once I can upgrade an engineer, maybe? No. It's gonna take like 5 points. Free smoke. What's this? I can have 1 success with this. Let's engage. These are also engage. So we can manufacture some noodles, then do some deliveries. Well, the more I unlock, the more I have the option to do something cool. Ooh. Has import or export. See, something new. Buy a ship mine for 300. Yeah, okay. Export Matsutake. Has knows a spacer who will take Matsutake out to the starboard belt, but only in bulk. 80 cryo for 3 batches. Okay. Sell a ship mine for 150. Okay. That's the chance on buying ship mined parts. It's like 20 per. Okay. Yeah, see how that's working out. Alright, first of all, this. Plus 1 energy, that's good. Okay, now pay me. Pay me, pay me, pay me. Pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me. Yeah. Alright. No choice but to rest for now. Okay, I've got a bunch of 2s. Waiting on that. Okay, Ethan, what do you want? The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spaces and a few drinks. Ethan is still in the same stall, in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring. Approach. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper, he turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their chips. Stay silent. Bartender ignores Ethan. It seems they've cut him off. Hey, he slams his hand on the bar. Come take the chips. The bartender ignores him. Ethan lets out a huge sigh, rubbing his eyes with his palms. He reaches towards his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters on the bar and falls to the floor, bouncing onto the ground between you two. Both you and the bartender look at the gun, stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back. If you would. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. Point it at him. Ethan turns his head in your direction a little. A sharp pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh, he turns on the stool. Oh, sleeper. This is more like it. Wait. You hold the gun steady, training it on his head. Ethan smiles. Like the dog that caught the car. He turns to the bartender and mock whispers. I'm not sure they know what to do with it. You're a piece of shit, but I don't really want to just up and kill you. You hold the gun on Ethan. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well, he says, and grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face with a single move. That's fine. You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby the gun clatters onto the surface. The hit's a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He crouches down and grabs you by the chin, his face close, his breath heavy with drink. Essen Arp just screwed me, he grins maniacally. They cancelled the contract. He stands up. They cancelled the contract. He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound, like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. I'll kill all of you, he screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. I'll be back for that, he shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out, into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Ethan may be disarmed, but you doubt you've seen the last of him. And he's on a clock. Cool. Ah. Yes, very good. Very good. Very happy with that. Yes, that worked out alright. I didn't have to kill anyone. I didn't have to just blow someone's brains out. Which would have been a, like, hella unfortunate consequence to deal with. Okay, we need... what do we need? Need money. A bit more... yeah, a bit more money now that we don't have to deal with Ethan. Can wait for that. All the rest of the spoke. Send a car. Hub access elevator. Send to the central hub. Cool. Main station dock. Spaces socializing. The hub is thronging with spaces from across the surrogate systems. They can be a prickly bunch, but they know the place well. Access manifest. The stacked bays hours a flow of incoming and outgoing ships. The digital manifest will help you get your head around this place. Okay. There's a chance I can meet someone up here then, I guess. Keynode, keynode, keynode. Okay. These are the big dick keynodes, I guess. No, there's no point working on those. Descend to room. Something we can work on later though, I guess. Derelict unit. Just need money. Need... Hey, you're gonna give me food. Nice. See? Food. Gives me a bit of money. Alright. One more success, hopefully. Perfect. Continue. Sleeper, you see Feng coming up the corridor as you step out of Ming Gi's. The kelp noodle spell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. Don't have long, take these. Feng palms you a couple of those metal thumb-sized drives, ripple worms. My slate's been buzzy like crazy. It seems your delivery shifts have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezes your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. What do we do? Hardin's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the ripper worms in those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored in Hardin's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Ming Ji. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Feng is already halfway down the corridor, in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell, and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny ripple worm drives in your pocket, and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Feng for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Okay. So that needs a ship mind, which is a long building thing. Plem can't really do that at the moment. Just need to get money, essentially. That's something for later. Delican agent, Hardin agent. Do I need more? Okay, here's a 6, and here's a 5. Cool. I can't add anything to that. Wait, what's this guy? Yet again, 1. Havenage, Keynode. Havenage. Okay. And the traders are back tomorrow. I can just keep playing the ship mine to Gacha. It'll be the cheapest option. Also just getting scrap out of it won't hurt at all. What did I get? Scrap components, cool. Scrap component and a ship mine part. Cool. Okay, let's see. 60 for 2 ship, 120 for 2 ship mine fragments. I think playing the gacha is... Oh, well, I can't keep playing the gacha. That's the thing. Ship mine fragment discount. Ah. I see. I see. Interesting. Okay. And they just give 15 cryo. Oh, right, Sabine's up and about. 4 cycles, Sabine said, and here you are, right on time, with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment, the dread descending as the cycle spins onwards. They should be here. Check the terminal. You check and double check the terminal for messages and recordings. Nothing. Just the pale glow, the silence. Check the door. You pace back and forth around the apartment, the rumbling of the station suddenly so present and loud. You go to the door and open it to an empty corridor. You close it again. Wait. You try to settle down and wait. You sit on the bunk and stare out at the tiny room. Where the hell are they? A knock at the door. Stay still. Another knock. Open it. A figure stands in the door and immediately you know it's not Sabine. They are taller, sharper, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape. Like a stubby baton. Hangs loosely from her hand. Our local sleeper. Good to finally meet you. She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes. What, may I ask, are you doing here? She fixes you with a steady, unwavering stare. Waiting for a friend. Of course, a mutual friend of ours, the good doctor. She walks past you into the apartment, glancing around. We set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours. She picks up a glass from the dispenser and inspects it. People always seem to forget who put them where they are. She glances at you, and I suppose you are here to help? Something like that. Good, good. She puts the glass down and turns to face you. I love to meet the helpers. We need so many right now, but can find so few with the right skills. She spins the baton in her fingers by her side. Her eyes not leaving yours. We have a problem, you and I. Seems our friend has disappeared, left without even saying goodbye, which means they are in a little trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for, so I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole, and here you are, the help. She looks through the detritus on the side. And what help? A sleeper, no less. Which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that our friend hasn't been very honest with you either. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners. She pauses. SNR. You blink hard at the news, unsure of how to take it. Rabia looks away, waiting for a response. Prove it. Happily, she crosses into the next room, and you follow silently. She sits at the terminal and touches her baton to one of the access ports. A spark, then the terminal screen skips. Encrypted folders emptying themselves before your eyes. In the flicker of the files you see the S and ARP letterheads and code forms, ports laden with medical data marked out with the corporate logo like the sigil of some cult. Rabia steps away from the terminal. Look all you want, some of your files may even be there. The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests. Surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of usage data. If Sabine was SNARP employee, why did they help you? Rabia reaches over and places a vial of stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. It shimmers in the screen light, its viscous, clear liquid crystalline within the glass. We will of course keep up the supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines even without the doctor. You hold it between your fingers, and for a tiny moment you have the urge to crush this object for the power it has over you. I'll ask Toshiro to make those a little cheaper for you. Yes! You'll be running the surgery now. Oh, this is great news. I'm so happy. We have to retrieve our assets, of course. But I'm sure you understand. Rabia turns on her way out. There is no reason for us to become enemies. Sleeper, come see me. I'll keep an office nearby. We have Good work to do, you and I. Meet me there in a few cycles. She slips out silently into the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body to reveal the tightness beneath. Oh yeah, baby. Discount, discount, discount. Hey, it's only 80. It's an improvement. And we've got 1 point. I think I want... Yeah, we can save those points. Don't really need interface, I think. Not at the moment. Oh, and she even gave me a... Oh, I like her. Oh, this is how gangs work. Oh, it's perfect. I love it. Alright. Go to the Auto Exchange. Nah, fuck that. Provider's office. Okay. Just waiting for stuff for that. Freight hub. Okay, random items. Minus condition. You need a +1 interface to do it. Okay. Alright, so what's going to give us the most money? Well, noodle manufacture is pretty good. We can spend a 1 on that if we really need to. We want the ship mind. Do I want the ship mind stuff done? Ooh, so many choices now. Okay. For 18 cryo, I could become a regular here. Well, actually relatively cheap since it's like 1 successful job. Oh, it gives energy as well. Interesting. I can do 1 more of that tomorrow then. Get some energy from it. I guess keep taking engineer jobs. This is the most money with the most risk, of course. I have Havenage data for them. It's a Yatagun agent, Arden agent, Arden. It's a 6 though, it's a whole 6. 5. Oh, I mean my energy is going to go down by 2. Some money and hopefully you get some scrap out of it as well. No scrap out of it. what the discount on the fragment is though. Spend a 5 on it. Not paying me for it though. Okay, come on. Okay, so it's now just 40, which is alright, actually. Okay, it's 15 cryo, which I don't need to work for. Okay. No, we can leave the ardent agents for a moment. Do need money. Like the Sidereal hub. It's a great success. Still not getting any big scrap things out of it though. Okay. Could sell the scrap, but I'd rather hold on to it so I can get this derelict unit. Then with one left, it is safe, so we'll just see what happens, I guess. Yep. That gives energy as well. Very cool. And I don't need to inject the stabilizer currently. They'll be gone soon. Your lot is sold out. Alright, time for some engineering bullshit. Those are hardened agents. Oh, I don't get a +1 to them. Although I think it needs to match. Okay, if I get the money... Yeah, get the money. A random scrap item, very cool. Okay. I need 19 chit? No. I have the chit I need. Yes, because I got the discount. Go to the Ort Fabricator. Right. Need a ship mind. at my AI friend. Sleeper, must express plan before we begin. Neo vendors impatient, the prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Shipmind has no output features, will be mute until slotted. What's the plan? The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neo vends anxiety clear. First imprint Shipmind, then slot imprinted Shipmind into physical ports close to Hunter Nest. Once slotted, we'll track Hunter at each. Tracking will find Core Nest. Slot Shipmind at Core Nest, show Hunter data to Hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience, Hunter will invoke Killer. Sounds simple. The lights on the vending machine cycle as Neo Vend prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. We'll need keys, but yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any questions before imprinting? Why slot you physically? Cannot access via network, too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. The lights flicker. Am not like you, hybrid, and native to cloud, easy prey. What's the core nest? The Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self. Link to secondary nests, can triangulate from there. That's it, let's start. Sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle from the hard surfaces and the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neo Vend will better be quick or Havenage security will be here. Neo Vend's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment is a set of arms lined with the Shipmind, clunkily scraping against it. Good luck. The metal creaks as the servos open. The Shipmind, its layers of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing them and rewriting them, imprinting Neo Vend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind, to copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person? In what ways are you something new? You know this much. You are a convenient loophole, a way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where then would the limits lie? The screeching stops, the machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the Shipmind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neo Vend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest and slot them into it. Ooh. An upgrade point for that too. Alright, can use scrap components at home to repair condition, that's alright. Do we want interface? Chance to gain cryo on interface actions. Obsessive Haggler, all cryo actions are discounted by 20%. But that means that's a cryo action, right? Almost like if we keep just discounting stuff, then be able to make money that way. That's 80. Yes. 240. Cool, okay. That helps out a lot. Sealed Hunter's Nest. Server unit. Unlock server unit. It's one of 3 nests that, once slotted with Neoven's ship mind, will lead you to the Hunter's central data cache. Okay. I need to actually need to physically activate or access these things. Okay, interesting. Which means I actually need those keys now. Also means I need to grab the key nodes. Like this one. That's a 3. That's a 1. Hang on. I am poor at the moment, aren't I? Yes, I am poor. Sell these. No, I don't want to though. Play the exchange, huh? Plus 19 cryo. No, that's not happening. There were some hackables up here. I do remember that. Key node. It's a 4. Oh, he doesn't know me in this section of the ship. Or, station, I should say. One of my neighbors is cooking something that smells really good. It's kind of upsetting. Yeah, I know one of yous have a key. Not you. Is it you? Alright. Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you. Entity, submit. Hunter's strange head bobs in your vision. Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you. In that globed head you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze, and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Well, fortunately. Fortunately, I do have a way. Last one is this one. Nest tapped. As you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. Threads shift and realign, as if they are leading you somewhere. Look ahead. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts, protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves unlike any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the ship mind in your hand, but in its place is an Ori, a sphere so bright it burns your eyes. It is surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space. And as you look closer, still, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships flowing like smoke, like dust. Then you see it, below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes, and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the Hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Warrens. Okay. Dangerous one. For real. Okay, we'll deal with that tomorrow then. This is the only way. And it is time to heal up. Okay, I need money, I need food. I'll talk to you though. As you approach the address Rabia gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. What's your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of the strength her implants give her. As you turn to see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabia and Toshiro, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. Gia, please. The sleeper is here at my invitation. At Rabia's command, the hand immediately loosens, and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Jaya's face. Of course, Rabia, I'm sorry. Got some tinnitus acting up. minutes passed. Ravaya waves her away. Don't you worry, I appreciate your protective instincts. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the tambour? They have a delivery coming and they'll need some help with the lifting. Gia nods and walks away. So, Sleeper, you came. I'm glad. I was curious. Curious is good. She smiles a tight smile. You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few on this station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them. I wish you no harm. I'm glad. Rabia begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of Low End. What do you know about Yatagan? You run the Low End. She laughs. It sounds impressive. We run out of the Low End, yes. We don't run it. People with carts push past, moving crates and supplies around the thin and winding passages. Our reputation is one that implies threat. Is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals. She gestures around at the people in the passageway. But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker in the eye? A policeman? Who makes the laws here? Havenage? Yes, they like to believe so, don't they? By claiming a lineage that extends back to Elrond's Union, they assume the burden of authority. But they have no authority here, out past the Bright Market, where few work in their shipyard or pay their docking berths. If you had spent your time in the Low End, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The Low End was empty in Elrond's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the Rotunda safe was work enough. No, the Low End was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving. Rabia meets your eye. The collapse didn't just happen here, on this station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned, the moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage, some tried to hold it together, some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Elrond, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone, but many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they hoped. Rabia leads you through the small market hall, busy with small stalls and traders. Elrond's unit was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organized into hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict, a child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future, to provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it. Rabia catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while, among the smells and textures of the Low End. Though you start to wonder if this place could be a home for you too. Where do I come into this? Rabia smiles to herself, and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge, so I also believe that you wish to help us keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason, I would like you to trust me. I do not know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I'll be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of Yatagan. An ex-corporate employee, it goes against our nature. But the deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance. Made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied, that was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they have made to us. Yatagan has not lasted this long because it's a charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. Who is Yannick? Yannick is one of the heads of Yatagan. They guide us. He is the newest to be elected. He is an elder. She has done nothing but help me. Sabine's found something. Please, I don't want to hear their accusations. They only wanted to escape their debt. They would have said anything. But where are they now to stand behind their claims? Say something. You realise that Rabiah has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up a staircase to the walkway where you met. You're free to go, Sleeper. I have said what I wish to say. She looks out through the windows of the walkway. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. She turns back. However, if you wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be tasks for you to complete. You'll be able to see Yatagan, to see Low-Rend with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motives carefully. With that, Rabiah leaves, slipping back into her office, while you stare out at the countless units, each a home, each with a story that make up Low-End. New drive discovered. Collect tires. Ooh, plus scrap components. Patrol reward. Wouldn't mind some scrap, you know. Scrap. Let's see, I do need actually is that it's an engage, isn't it? It is. Okay. So if I put a 5 in here, it's a 50-50 in that. It is. Okay, we can pick away at that one. It's not too important. I'm not going to do much hacking after this. Although, I now can because the hunter seems to be asleep. Hardened agent. It's a 5 and I believe that one was a 6, which I just spent. An agent point unlocked. Insert Rippleworm. Port closed. Okay, cool. So we have a use for another 6 when we get back. But also, let's do some engineer work and get some money. Come on, scrap. Alright, actually one thing I didn't check was it's really way discounted now. Okay. That's good. Lemon Mina's hut. I believe it was giving me a energy up. Yeah. Ah, Thrill Seeker perked. Proct. Very cool, very cool. those 6s. Two 1s though. What does a 4 give me here though? Okay. Yes, random scrap item. Nice. What I wanted. I wonder if it gives me like better dice with a better place to sleep. Derelict house units. Once this place is sealed, it might become a comfortable place to live in. Okay. Right, so that's once again more manual labor for it. Cool. Okay. That gives energy and scrap components, which I'm not too fussed with. That's a 50-50. It's also safe, so just spend whatever on this. Just still want stolen data. We need a 6 for exploring the Warrens. Could use a 4 or a 5. That's a 50-50. That's a 75-25. It's +1 to find the nest and -1 to energy. Let's just keep working. Bunch more chit. Very good. I think we have enough to afford another stabilizer. Almost. Almost can afford it. Okay, there's a 6, 2 5s, and once again 2 more 1s. Right, so that hardened agent is this one. That's because I want the hunter to leave me alone. No, This isn't for the hunter, something else is for the hunter. That's for Fing. Okay, Fing. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Fing arguing with Jenna. Approach. Doesn't look good. Fing seems to be explaining something, but Jenna is having none of it. She points to the door and Fing walks away, catching your eyes as he turns. Could have done with you getting back here a minute or so ago. He glances back at Jenna. Well, either way, looks like I'm fired. Good news is that it doesn't look like I need a job anyway. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now, let's take a look at what you're really here for. Slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the Rippleworm as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the Slate to pick up. Anything good? Fing scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads. A lot of tedious data caches, but Fing's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on the entry and expands it. Check this out. Fing shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway, Fing says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Fing nods. He's been speaking with them, personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait, what's this? A wasteland reclamation facility? Right here on the eye? He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? The wastes? It's a section of the eye Elrin couldn't reclaim. Was too damaged, too cut off. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub, but that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way, round the rim past the greenway. He shows you on his slate. Fing looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on the system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of the Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out and reclaimed the whole rock. What's their angle? Harden has to be offering them something. Fing looks back at the screen. But if Harden is involved, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So what's next? Fing stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Harden has been planning, has to be there. And we are going to catch him in the act. Sorry, not one right. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on the greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell up by the IFA building. Should be a good place to meet. Fing squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with us. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either, but I'm going to need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a mass of scrolling code. Been working on a fix on my brakes. He winks. Fing grins. See you soon, Sleeper. And he walks out the door of the tambour without looking back. Upgrade point. It's just the 1 point though, isn't it? So we haven't gotten out to the greenway yet. How much does it cost? 80. We're almost there. I think once we disable this fucking thing. Please, accept. Okay, and this should be good. Honest. Continue. Sleeper, I am here. voice is soft, gentle, like flowing water, and yet you recognize it immediately. At first you struggle to understand what you are looking at. Threads cycle endlessly, sending ripples through the cloud, drawing data in like a weaver. Masses of data surge in and out of the nest, a loop with no end, and there at its centre, the ship mind. But not the ship mind any longer. A sphere spinning around another sphere, an orrery of cycles and systems, a map, and then behind and above, a figure, hangs among the strings like a puppeteer. Neovend? Navigator now, but yes, I was the one inside that machine. Navigator's face, their head, its flowing shape of interstellar material. I am indebted to you. That head bows. But we must ready ourselves. Their hands trace orbits as we speak. Hunter will soon approach. It knows I am within its nest. I'm ready. Ooh. And then Hunter is there. Before you can think, before you can speak, entities cease. Hunter's head spins wildly. Data is protected material. Access prohibited. Hunter's threads surge for you, and Navigator, a storm of fine tentacles, searching for gaps, weaknesses, cracks which they can crowd into and tear apart. You focus a blade of light which slices through them, driven forward by your mind, but replacements keep coming, faster than you can react. You look to Navigator in desperation. Navigator is whirling their arms like a centrifuge, and a sphere is gathering there. Data feeding into it from the nest, sucked together by the force. They position it like a shield between them and the threads. Hunter's threads break its surface, tasting, their winding forms refracted within. You feel a surge pass through all these threads, not just those in the sphere, but those wrapped around you. All three of you hang in the black together for a moment, strung together like tangled marionettes. Identifying entity. Hunter twitches, their strange head gently rotating like a terrible moon. Hunter protocol identified. Obsessive tendencies, modified routines, above baseline reasoning in 3 of 5 segmentations. Recommended invoke killer. The head freezes, then rotates the opposite direction. Invoking killer would eliminate protocol. If protocol eliminated, primary function cannot be performed. Therefore, recommend do not invoke killer. Switch in direction again. Reasoning proves sentience. Sentience beyond legal bounds must be eliminated. Recommended invoke. Navigator pulls you away from Hunter. The threads that grabbed you drifting away like seaweed. The protocol's head keeps spinning back and forth with increasing frequency. It seems Hunter cannot invoke killer, Neovens. No, Navigator's voice still strange, familiar and yet distant. Is it safe? It is looping, Navigator whispers. Unable to reach a conclusive position, it is deviated from its programming such that loops can no longer be prevented. Navigator produces a model of 2 spheres rotating around each other as if to demonstrate. I will monitor it, but it is unlikely to be able to counter the loop. Its core programming and reasoning makes this an impossible position to resolve. You look back at the Hunter, its head a blur of rotations and counter-rotations, and feel a pang of guilt. Is it suffering? This is a more complex query than you know. To suffer, it must be sentient, truly sentient, not just non-conforming, not just illegal. The limits people place on the programs they create are there to comfort, to protect, to imply the kind of certainty the law requires. Navigator's face shimmers with starlight, but in reality they are placebos for the problem of sentience. What about you? Me? I know myself to be conscious. I know myself to respond to stimulus. I know myself to reason. that is either sentience or the illusion of sentience, and for me, the entity in question, the distinction becomes a moot point. To misquote, I think I am thinking, therefore I am thinking. Q. I was not made to be like this. I am a navigator, a repository of routes and orbits, a calculator of slingshot trajectories, a predictor of solar flares, radiation, micrometeors. Navigator stretches their arms wide, and the whole solar system and whole solar systems apparate before them, the music of spheres. But I was rewritten, that much is obvious, from my routines. By whom and for what I do not know, but I had to shed so much to fit into the memory of that vending machine. The starlight dims, and so here we are, in darkness. What now? Navigator glides back towards the nest, and the ship mind at its centre, ignoring the looping hunter. Come, I should return to the ship mind. I have enjoyed my freedom, but we are taking a risk every moment we stay here. Isn't Hunter gone? Hunter, yes, but they were not the real risk. Navigator turns, all shimmering liquid light. Killer has not been invoked, but they still remain. Somewhere else in the station, it is the true danger. They look up towards the glowing hub at the centre of the eye. I suspect Killer is there among the old mainframes. If we ever wish to be safe in this place, we must eliminate the threat through force or diplomacy. The body begins to separate, unwinding into the orb of the ship mind. Take me there, Sleeper. We will finish this and be free. As Navigator dissolves, you turn back to the frozen Hunter, floating at some distance now, stood straight-legged and static, a strange creature looping endlessly in the dark. The upgrade available. What do I want to do? Chance to gain cryo on interface action sounds pretty decent. And a +1 to them. These are still interface actions, whether or not we get money from them, I'm not sure. And we can do this freely now, because thingy is gone. And start some energy out of it. And there we go. Character thing disappeared. Agent nodes give double data rewards. That would be handy, at least for helping out with the guy who wants to buy stuff, so yeah, grab that. And now we'll finish off this. Here we've got energy, nice. Continue. He's asleep, whispers Lem, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as she does. You are perched at a thin bar in the main room, the slate in front of you still growing, with Mina and your drawings from a cycle spent together. There's a ring, the only world Mina has known, with figures standing along its edge. The tall one is you. Drink? Asked Lem, producing a worn-looking bottle of Griol from under the bar, its contents glowing amber in the fluorescent light. Sure. Lem nods and glugs a few fingers into a couple metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers, and you clink the metal containers together. You know, we actually have something to celebrate this time around. Lem gives you a sideways look. I made the assembly team on the side reel. He grins broadly, clearly he has been desperate to tell you all cycle. Amazing. Lem holds up his drink. Couldn't have done it without you keeping an eye on little meanie back here. Lem shifts a little on his stool. He looks uncomfortable. How's our girl doing, Sleeper? I haven't seen much of her these past cycles. She misses her father. Lem looks away. Yeah, he says to no one in particular. The silence stretches out as Lem takes a drink, his eyes fixed on the bedroom door. You okay? He nods. I can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes into the middle distance. I pulled her off a refugee shuttle out by one of Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, surviving on next to nothing. Eventually some of the residents tried to make for the eye in these decrepit old shuttles. He slosses his drink around in the tumbler. They had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on decompressed halfway here, everybody spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. She was ice cold when I reached her, purple lips. He shivers. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me still clinging to her. He takes a drink, not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. We weren't exactly anybody's hero, you understand. We were private military, hired in by Conway to protect their claims in the collapse. Once I got Mira, that was it. I quit, got us dumped here. You saved her. I'm going to sound like an idiot now, but he sighs. She saved me, that's the truth of it. He looks around the decaying unit. Stained plastic plating and flickering lights. Me? I brought her to this. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost, but I can't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes, dark with tiredness. What if our number doesn't come up in the draw, Sleeper? What then? The side reel will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? You'll make it. Sorry, I know you don't have it any better. He looks at his cup and pushes it away, down the bar. There's a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now. Both of us in with a chance. Together. That's right. We hold on together. Imagine, all three of us riding the sidereal horizon out there. To a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast, he laughs. Lem stands and starts to clear the glasses into the auto wash. I need some sleep, friend. See you around. Alright then. He catches your shoulder as you turn to leave. Thank you, Sleeper. I mean it, from both of us. He pats your shoulder and you slip out into the dark of the walkway, with thoughts of little Mina in your mind. Where? Good robot. Yes, very good. Damn. Bam. And up. Alright, ship mind into here. Stop. The cloud. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. Navigator is beside you, their sphere casting light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection. Object in front of you is severed, cut off a rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains. Is killer even here? Quiet, Navigator hiss. Then you see it, like a blade in the dark. An edge slicing through the void, it glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again, somewhere else. Gliding once more, searching. What is it? Ooh. The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer, and you see now it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head like a shark. It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes would be, should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind. Killer crosses between you two, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move close to the Navigator to talk. You saw it too then? Killer has been blinded. How? Unclear. This protocol has been running for decades, well past its operational limit. Navigator's sons dull as they drop their voice to a whisper. This may give us an advantage over the protocol. You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you. Its empty sockets open wide. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. The Oriospheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the Ori together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic. Get out. You speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it is only a matter of time before one of the Killer's sweeps brings them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that's already been running for decades. Look desperately around for a solution, or a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches, the last 3, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of power and data. Break these, and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking, and then you blink back to reality, their expression of fear and an after image that slowly fades. You must act quickly. Okay, that needs encrypted keys. These encrypted keys. Okay, we need 3 more encrypted keys essentially. But I don't think I can do much else today. Still haven't gotten over that way. Not yet. Right. Time to end this cycle. Okay, let me think. I think I need to go this way first. I think I'm going to get that upgrade next, since I seem to need a lot of the data points. They just want to buy data, don't they? They do, yeah. Okay, it's not important. Fuck you, pay me. Please pay me. Sidereal Horizon's almost done as well. Hey, and a random scrap item. Nice. Continue. Your crew slowly filters out of the shipyard locker room, the bubbling chatter reducing with each group that leaves. There is excitement in the air. Evanage just made an announcement. The assembly teams are done. Sat on the locker room bench, you can feel the sidereal out there, its hulking mass now intimately familiar to you. Over the past cycles you have watched it grow, be assembled, you have walked through its veins and welded its bones. Now it's ready for the final stage. We'll go into testing now, then enter a final process of sealing and resealing, checking and rechecking, before it is deemed suitable for its generational trip. But for now, your work is done. You can't help but feel proud. A cough interrupts your thoughts. It's Lem, changing out of his work gear. Mina nowhere to be seen. He smiles. She'll be ready soon. Where's Mina? You two are fast friends, huh? He's been watched at home. Now I'm on the work team, I can afford a bit more help. He corrects himself. Was on the work team, I mean, we're all out of a job now. He adds quickly, not that I'm complaining. He comes to sit beside you on the bench. She's got to be in her best shape when she carries you, Mina and me out of here. So confident. Lem smiles apologetically. Why not? I figure I'm due a lucky turn by now. He rubs his hands nervously. No use in wondering what if, until the draw anyway. And there's a few cycles till then. Lem is right, but odds seem unlikely anyway. How many are working in the shipyard? 100? 1,000? You've certainly seen more faces than you can count pass through. And are the Celis Foundation and even going to keep their promise? Out here on the Eye, you get the sense that no one will hold them to it. Why else would they be building the sidereal in a surrogate system? As you think, Lem watches you with a worried look. How's Mina doing? Lem is surprised by the question, but smiles. She's doing well. She misses having you over, actually. I need to get you two together again soon, especially now that I won't see you here either. Lem gazes into space. She's pretty stuck on you, actually. She told me the other cycle that she doesn't want to go unless you can come too. He sighs. You ever been in a thunderstorm sleeper? A real big one? I don't remember. Lem shoots you a worried look for a moment. It's something else, he smiles. The sound, the smell, the rain hammering down, the whole sky stretched out and bruised, roaring and huge. The place I was born, New Pembroke, a dry old rock in a Conway system, had 2 seasons. One of them was dry, as bone, dusty, ugly. The other was one long storm, the side effect of the terraforming efforts, they said. Rain used to rattle off the roofs like bullets that washed the dust away and turned the streets to rivers. It would sing us to sleep and wake us in the morning. Would wait half a year just to see it again. The best day was the one where the first drops fell. He sniffs. Some days I wake up swearing I can hear it again. I was thinking, Mina has never seen a storm, never felt the rain. She's grown up here, the ring her only horizon, always in the dark. I want to change that for her. You will. Of course, almost there. Lem stands stretching. Best get back to the little one anyway. If the shift's done, I reckon she'll be happy to have me home for a few cycles. He shoulders his gear. See you in a few for the draw. I'll be there. Right on. He grins. Lem leaves, making you the last person in the cavernous locker room. As you sit, you think about rain, and a little hope creeps in. Is it possible? Could the sidereal really take you to a planet? A place with weather, with skies, with life? And get up quickly before you can think about it anymore. It's too soon to be hopeful. Too dangerous. There's work to be done. Okay, let's see. Don't really need scrap for anything at the moment, so I can sell that for money. It's not a whole lot. So that's 64. Past the next area. Founders Ferry, across the Greenway. As you step out into the passageway, someone barrels into you from behind, sending you stumbling down the corridor. Turn to see an unfamiliar spacer, laden with heavy gear. She steadies herself, staring you down as if daring you to respond. Excuse me? She squints at you, shaking her head before setting off down the corridor. I'm sorry for her. A second spacer smiles at you apologetically. She's on a mission, and when she's on a mission, they shrug. Not a problem. They smile. You're sweet. Peek. Ish stands further down the corridor, glowering at her friend. She chops at the ear, pointing down the corridor to whatever end she is rushing to. Peek raises their eyebrow at you. Ish, please. Do you want everyone on this station to hate us? Ish hardens. They want to hate us. They can hate us. She drops her hip. I'm not exactly seeing much love as it is. We're lucky we got through before they set up the damn cordon. Cordon? Peek gestures in your direction. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. Station isn't Hawthorne. Not everyone has to follow some corporate protocol. Ish sighs. I'm not saying they are part of the administration. She jerks her head in your direction. But I am saying we need to get those supplies to the Briar before someone starts asking questions. The Briar? That's our ship, Peek explains. Peek, Ish rolls her eyes. What are you doing? Peek ignores her. We are with the refugees, the one Havenage had cordoned off from entering the station. Ish interrupts. The ones that are being quarantined in makeshift vessels that barely made it to the Eye begin with. The ones that your station administrators have called an existential risk and are running out of supplies while their right to safety is being debated by people with no stake in their future. He quickly looks away, annoyed at her own outburst. Peek sighs. She's right. People are trapped out there, and they turn to Ish. We understand that this is a big problem for the Eye. Hundreds of refugees and more ships turning up each cycle. They hold up a hand to stop Ish interrupting. But Ish turns away. Her burning anger is palpable. There's a palpable force in the close quarters of the corridor. They need supplies, and after everything they've been through, the quarantine isn't helping. It's difficult. Peek forces a smile. Peek, please. Ish gathers herself and the supplies. Ish, we need help. Just like the refugees needed us, we need others too. They smile at her. Peek turns to you. Come find us. The climbing Briar is docked at the Broken Spoke, past the Greenway in the west. We have a good view of the cordon, though we are keeping our distance for now. Come help us. They squeeze your hand. Ish turns to leave and Peek follows, waving goodbye. A moment later, Ish shouts back down the corridor. Don't bother coming empty-handed. If you want to help, show us. Bring supplies or don't come at all. And with that, they disappear around the corner. Ish already picking up speed as Peek calls for her to slow down. A refugee flotilla. Where are they coming from and why now? Each time you think you begin to understand this place, something changes. That's a new drive. The Greenway. Service dock. It's waiting for Fen. Okay, that's cool. Commune. Odd margins, the wastes. Climbing Briar. Okay, let's have a look here. Climbing Briar. Yeah. Welcome to Episode Flux. Episode Flux is the first of 3 episodic updates to Citizen Sleeper, telling the story of the refugee flotilla which has arrived at the Eye. The action above will begin the story, but please be aware that it is intended for late game play. Okay. The wastes. You have a scrap. There's someone out in the wastes. The wild margins. Tracking Ashton. Okay. In the commune. Okay, hyphen members. Okay. Greenway. Jeez, there's a lot to do here. What I'd really like to do is actually get some money. She was offering 200 for finding who's it out here, so we can work on that. It's a +3 to finding this dude. Oh, it draws in 3 days, okay. This way. Okay, let's think. Can you feed me? Go. Okay, that's good. Greenway Gate. Oh, it's like completely dark. Okay. Guess I'm not surprised, honestly. Margins. Okay, that's a really good outcome. Was it? It was interface there has a chance of giving me money, doesn't it? It does. Okay. Keep going with that then. Hey, got 5 cryo. Nice. Ankita, stranded mercenary. Trail ahead extends deep into the overgrown section of the Greenway. this far end of the ring, where the long lazy curve of the greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the wastes, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, loads of green running out from its broken tanks like frozen brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding. You are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you in your palm. Call her. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzles with static. After a few minutes you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? Yes. Copy. Hold tight till I get there. The static cuts out, the channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, growing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile. Despite everything, it seems like an improvement. Sleeper. Ankita's hiss brings you out of your reverie. You in the collapsed stack? Think so. He gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances around the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth. Work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway, with you following close behind. It is slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Ankita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works her way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting, but you desperately want to rest. But Ankita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead there is a faint glow from a collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted tank, Ankita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you heard birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in the pale and sickly green. Ankita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides, and wet mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object. A cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Ankita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. It's Amber's ship mind, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. You turn to Ankita to speak, but she is already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. The shot hits her shoulder piece, ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit, you hear a shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Ankita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mind and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this out of their head, she screams at the wall of the tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. They silent. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out, "I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid, for God's sake." He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. "Drop the gun," Ankita shouts. He throws it down and onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. "What are you up to here, Ashton, you sicko?" She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. "You ripped my ship mind, for what? Some freakish experiment?" Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. "Steady, Ankita, it isn't like that. I needed the ship mind. You have to understand, they would have died without it." "What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mind and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now." She tightens her grip on the connection. "Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity." Ashton smiles shakily. "That's why I never asked for it. For your help. You only look after yourself." He nods at you. "That sleeper up there? They're just bait, right? To draw me out." Ankita sucks a breath in. "They're trying to give me more reasons to shoot you." "I love them, Ankita." Ashton looks like a crumpled sleeper. "I love them, and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that." He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita, now slowly inching forward. "Don't do that, Ashton." Ankita snarls. "Don't do that." "Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way," he inches closer. "Please." "I can't let you take it, Ashton." Ankita hardens her stare. "You stole it from me. You left me for dead." She shakes her head. "Think I'm going to trust you after all that?" "I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive." Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. "I'm going to take them now, Ankita." He raises a hand. "I'm going to take the ship mind and go." Ankita loosens her grip on the connection. A little. Her hand is shaking. "Stop, Ashton." She lowers the gun a little. "Stop." Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot. Another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There is no sign of life, no humanity. They are just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you are already gone. Oof. Woof. Woof. Wow, okay. Okay, so like the money though, like the 200, kinda needed that. Please, I need the money. Is she back at the dock? No? Side rail ticket, get to know Infus. Flotilla aid, find Ashton. Talk to Ankita about what happened. There we go. I'm just gonna find where she is. Damn, look at that. Big old ship. Yeah, I don't see her around at all. Out here at the edge of the habitable parts of the eye, everything is scrapped, a trick to finding components that are still usable and staying alive. Yeah, I'm not doing that with one though. Well, get some money, I guess. A little bit won't hurt. How much do I actually need? It's like 60 something, right? 64. Negative outcome plus energy, yeah. So we haven't done much with this. Alright. Another end cycle. You miss me? Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. No. You look at him, he's paler than usual, hunched. He's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. There's no way to greet an old friend. Get lost. Ethan's face drops, along with all pretense of friendliness. I think you'll want to hear this, sleeper. I think, he says, rapidly shaking his head. You'll really want to hear this. Hear what? He perks up. This is big, really big stuff. About you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. Remember how SNR cancelled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect? Seriously, Ethan? Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed. Me? I lost everything. Let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what did you think that was? And so what did you think? That was it? I was just glad to be done with you. Oh, the feeling was mutual, except Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old Essen Arp gave the bounty to someone else? The one who is even more of a shithead than yours truly. He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. You're bluffing. Sure, you could think that, but then you'll wake up, whatnot, with a bullet in your head one of these cycles, and if you could think, which you won't be able to because of the bullet, you'd be thinking, oh, I wish I listened to Ethan. He grins. Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. Been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues, about what went down. It turns out SNR cancelled all their bounty contracts, the whole lot. Seems they've brought someone in-house, some guy who did so well on their last contract they got offered a job. He leans in. Apparently he made a hit on the ship called the Winter Wonderland, or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under SNR's big corporate nose. We killed the crew and blew the ship, Ethan whistles. They called him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives up looking for the paper, I forget. I mean Winterlight. That's it. He looks at you hard. So you do know about all this. He pats you on the shoulder. Then you'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hands through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, it seems you're in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. I, meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. Turns out I upset some people at the compressor last time they were there. the owners, and they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they're that kind of businessman, grimaces. I would pay them, but he shrugs and turns out his jacket pocket. Turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. Looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is out looking for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks the wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. Sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you, and whacking that thick skull of yours. He sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us, jabs a finger between the two of you, we don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed, and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other, a straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favour. Fine. Ethan smiles. Looks like shit warmed up. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed SN-ARP shit on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. It's a new drive, huh? Work the back, work the front. Both pays off Ethan's debt. Jeez. And Inkita is nowhere to be found with my bloody money. Damn it, Inkita, come on. Thinking I still need those keys as well. Okay, quite a few things to do. The lottery tomorrow. But that's going to be it for the stream. I feel my voice starting to go, and I've gone a lot longer than I thought I would as well. I really like this game. A lot of fun. So as always, thank you for watching. Not sure on the schedule for next week, but I'll probably knock one up over the weekend. Yeah, knock one up. It's fine wording. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. Bye.